Welcome to my channel, Satish.
Thank you, Kashyap. So how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm glad that I'm reviewing my bike on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, we are great that we can know something about your bike because it's new,
Sure.
and it's very new.
Yeah, like I said, it was always my dream to buy KTM. So now I have one. So really proud to be a owner of KTM.
So first of all, how did you choose this bike and which all other bikes you had in mind?
Well, to be speaking honestly, right from my college days, like 3 years back when KTM released, KTM got released long back, but then 3 years back I planned to buy KTM, but then my parents told they will not buy me KTM bike by just looking at the bike, because I am sure it's same with all of the Indian family.
Well, it's very fast.
Yeah, because comparing it to the other bikes, this bike has a power to weight ratio which is more.
Yeah.
So a lot of parents who scare because of the lot of power, lot of other people can't handle the bike. That basically depends upon the rider. So parents are obviously scared. So like I said, I always wanted to own a KTM, but then 3 years back my parents didn't agree and I had to buy TVS Apache RTR 160. So after using Apache for almost 3 years, so then I thought it's time to change bike.
Wanted to upgrade?
Yeah, I wanted to upgrade bike to, somewhere, it was 160, I wanted somewhere around 200cc and more.
Okay.
At the same day, there was a release of KTM new 390 Duke Naked. So if you guys remember, this bike KTM 250, it was released as a surprise.
Yes.
So after looking at the KTM 250 as a surprise release, I was really shocked to see the design, bike, everything and all. I then and there decided that I should book KTM. Honestly speaking, the excitement which I had on the first day when I got my bike, so even today whenever I take my bike out to ride, I have the same excitement, because KTM, I can tell you, its performance wise, I think no one can beat in this sector.
So till now, how many kilometers have you clocked?
So I've almost covered 3,500. It's been 3 months since I bought my bike. So far so good.
That's great. So in those 3,000 kilometers, how many have you clocked in the city and in the highways?
So majority I think I've clocked it in the city, because I remember I didn't get more time to tour on this bike, but still I've gone like 3-4 rides.
Okay.
So I think I've covered almost like 1,000-1,500 touring, and rest of the 2,500 in the city itself. So
around 70 to 30 ratio.
Yeah, 70 to 30 ratio.
So Satish, how's the handling of this bike, and how comfort is it to ride both in the city and in the highways?
Yeah, well, talking about the handling and the comfortness, I've rode the other KTMs as well, because a lot of my other friends and even you own a KTM, so I've rode other people's bike. So seat wise, you can see they've increased the wideness of the seat.
Yes.
And the cushioning effect is a little softer than the previous KTM seats.
Yes.
So comfort wise, it's damn comfy when you compare to the previous KTMs. And the handlebar also, the position where you sit and hold the handle is
upright,
almost upright, like literally upright, because this time in the KTM 250 new model, they have very little they put the handle in front. So what is that, before you used to little lean, like probably 2-3 degree more, but in this you almost sit upright.
It's more upright now.
Yeah, it's more upright now, especially for tall riders who are a little taller than me. I'm 5.5, but people who are taller than me, I think it's perfect upright for them. And as far as I am concerned, riding for 3 months, I haven't felt any uncomfortableness in the riding and for handling, and it's all comfort, I can tell. And also riding inside the city, handling is damn comfortable. Like you can easily curve through the vehicles, and then you can easily ride.
First thing what comes in mind for everyone if you talk about KTM is the heating issue.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's I'm getting many questions regarding the heating issue of this bike.
Yeah.
So is there any heating issue in this bike in the city as well in the highways?
Well, I think most of you know that KTM has a heating issue right from the beginning. But when you compare it to other KTMs, I can't tell it's less heating issue, but then there's a slight more heating issues. but when you take it to touring and all, I don't find there's a heating issue at all. Within city, there is a heating issue, but then I think people who ride it on a regular basis, I don't think so it should be a problem, because since I've been riding it a lot in cities, initially I used to feel, because I changed from RTR 160 to KTM, right? So I initially used to feel that there is a heating issue, but then after riding for continuously, I think there is no much of a heating issue. But then people who are buying it newly, I think you'll feel it, but then I'm sure you'll get adjusted to it.
So now let's talk about the maintenance. Is it pocket friendly or how it is?
Yeah, well, to tell frankly, when it concerned to the service and all, so the first free service which I did, it costed me around 1,600. In that 1,300 for the oil change, which every showroom charges for oil, and the remaining was for the chain loop, and then they cleaned the bike completely. I think it costed me around 1,600. Apart from that, coming to maintenance, as far as I didn't have any issues or any concerns which costed me for maintenance. Only thing is, for every 400 to 500 kilometers, I keep chain lubricating it. So I use Motul, which will cost you around like 500 rupees. Yeah. So I think every time I lube, I think the performance or the smoothness of the bike increases. So apart from that, I don't find any maintenance cost which you need to spend every month like that.
And what's the mileage you're getting in the cities and in the highways?
Well, to be frankly speaking, mileage, I'm not a bit happy, because within city I'm getting around 28 to 27. But when I'm touring, I'm getting more than 30. I'm getting 32 to 35. So yeah, 28, I think it's a decent. But
28 to 30 is the average.
Yeah, 28 to 30 is average.
And Satish, what do you think? Is it a perfect bike, or do you need any modifications, or do you recommend anything to the KTM?
Modification wise, I haven't felt like there's a much modification required or something. But since I've been riding it for almost 3 months, I felt that there's a lot of wind blast when you're touring and all. So I feel you need a windshield, so which you can modify it on your own. And I think it looks pretty cool when you put the handle guard, which you get it with the 390 in stock. Yes. So that thing you're not getting in this KTM 250. Yeah, extra comfort. I think you can put the gel seat. I think you'll get it in the shops. Yeah. So that gel seat you can put if you're going for a long rides, and also you won't feel much of irritation when you're riding for a long time. Other than that, I think everything is perfect in this bike. Yeah. Coming to the ABS thing, I think it would have been more safety and also more confident while riding if you add the ABS stock with the KTM bike in this 250 model.
At least they would have given it as an option.
Yeah, they should have given it as an option. I think most of the people would have preferred the ABS version. And coming to tires, I think this tires, the MRF Zapper, I guess this is Zapper. I think this does a pretty good job inside the city. So when you are going on tour or touring this bike, I think you need little more grippy tires. So I think for that, I think Magilla would have been a little bit fine. Yeah, that's it as far as modification is concerned. I think that would do a brilliant job.
Okay, Satish, thanks for sharing your ownership experience with us, and I look forward to go many more rides with you.
Sure, Kashyap. Thanks for calling. It was a pleasure reviewing my bike. It's always KTM. Okay.
So guys, I think we have answered all your questions regarding this bike, and if you have any more questions regarding this, please do comment. We'll try our level best to answer those questions. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe it. Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you. Bye-bye.